Very good.
Good.
Very good.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, he's back from
Back from vacation.
Italy.
Italy.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Where'd I go?
Where? Which part?
Naples, Rome, Milan, and Venice.
My niece got back, literally 2 days ago, and she was in Northern, and she said it was like being in France, as far as the food is concerned.
And also
Yeah.
it's hot. Good evening.
And the people.
The Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting of Tuesday, July 15, 2025. I'm calling to order. Alice Kelly, Chair.
Mike Canada.
Andrew Holt, alternate.
John Comtois, alternate.
Ann Grasso.
Brian Dufresne.
Doug Kalinowski.
Vincenzo Marfella.
Okay, and also I'd like to have a motion to seat alternates, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, and with us,
Aye.
with us tonight, we have Bruce Driscoll, our zoning enforcement officer, and Stuart Popper, our town planner,
Linda Emmy.
Linda Emmy, our clerk, and
Do you have any?
anybody else from the town?
I don't see anybody from the town.
Okay,
Other
so,
than our residents.
approve of the agenda, Mr. Popper, do you have any?
Make some changes to the agenda.
Certainly.
First of all, under new business, accept and schedule new applications, I would like to add 2 applications. I have application number 25-18, application for a special permit at 900 Corporate Row for a caretaker's quarters. The applicant is Samuel Slavinsky, and the owner is Industries, Inc., Rev. Application 25-19, application to amend the zoning regulations to add a banquet hall use to section 4.3G of the zoning regulations and section 2.2 of the zoning regulations. The applicant is Kimberly Evans, and the owner is UNHH LLC. Also, what I would like to do is ask the commission to amend the agenda so we move item 9, which is new business, discussion of the proposed revisions to the Town of Cromwell subdivision regulations, to the very end after public hearings.
Okay. Mr. Popper? I mean,
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Okay. At this time, we will take public comments on anything that is not on public hearing. Public hearing will have comments during public hearing. Anybody like to come before the commission on anything? Okay, moving on. Okay, Mr. Driscoll.
Hi, good evening, everybody. In your packet, you have the standard table formatted application view of the permits that we've issued, but you also have passed out this evening that was not part of your packet, a memorandum from me dated today regarding monthly update, and it's an enforcement update. And so it gives you a thumbnail view of what's been going on, and not too detailed, but just gives you a little better view of some of the activities that have transpired in the last month. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to address them.
I'd just like to say is really appreciate, this especially, yes. So let's see, approving with condition pending. I don't have any, anybody have any comments or anything? Okay, if not, moving on, Mr. Popper?
So a lot of things going on in town we're very excited about. We're very excited to see the medical office building moving along. They expect to open in October of this year. This is over next to 180 Shunpike, the existing medical office building, and this building is the Middlesex Health Building. So we're very happy to have Middlesex Health come to Cromwell. We still have discussions about a couple of properties on Sabethy. As Bruce mentioned at the last meeting, the Kirby Road property where all the wood is being cleaned up, and it looks really impressive, the amount of work they're doing out there. And that property will be eventually available for development once it's cleared out. There are actually about 5 high and dry acres up against Kirby Road. So there's the possibility of building something there. So that's very exciting. So those are some of the things going on. In regards to new business and the accepting and scheduling of applications, I'd just like to ask everybody to think for a second about August and whether or not we want to hold a meeting in August. We have no applications that have deadlines. So usually, we take 1 month off, or at the most, we have one meeting a month. So, we have no emergencies, there's nothing that we have to do. So I don't know if we wanna take August off, or.
So what is your pleasure, commissioner members?
I'd love to take it off, thanks. I'll second.
Everybody?
I'm okay with
Motion?
it. Yeah, sure. I'll make a motion to, have our August agenda clear.
Okay.
Second?
So what we're gonna do then is we're gonna schedule the applications that we accept this evening to be heard. Those that will need a public hearing will be heard on September 2nd. We have 2 other pending applications, which is the modification to the liquor permit for Murphy's Pub, and that'll be heard on September 2nd. And we also have a modification to the site plan for Walmart, and that'll be heard on September 2nd. So no major applications, so. And the 2 applications we added to the agenda, they'll be heard on September 2nd.
So we have a motion to accept that we will have August off. All
To
in
cancel-
favor?
Cancel the August meeting.
Cancel the August meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, moving on.
So, new business acceptance schedule applications. So we have application 23-16, which is an application for a special permit to amend the special permit to allow for outside patio. This is at Murphy's Pub. The applicant is Casey Hancock, and the owner is HBN CSC LLC. So what we would do is that would be a public hearing, and that would be on September 2nd.
Okay.
So we can make a motion to accept and schedule that.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept and schedule application 2516, special permit, for Murphy's Pub, and that is a public hearing to be heard on September 2nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then we have application 25-17, which is the application for a site plan modification to allow for an addition. This is at Walmart's. The applicant is the manager of Walmart's, and the owner is Infinity Cromwell Property Limited Partnership. This is at 161 Berlin Road. So that will be a business item at the September 2nd meeting,
That's not a public hearing, right?
not a public
Okay.
hearing.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept and schedule application 2517 as a business item, also for September 2nd.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Then we have the 2 new applications. We have the special permit at 900 Corporate Road for caretakers' quarters. That's application 25-18. That would be a public hearing.
Okay. Motion?
Okay, yep. Let me finish writing here, okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to accept and schedule application 2518, 900 Corporate Row Caretakers Quarters for a public hearing on September 2nd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have application 2519, which is an application to amend the zoning regulations to allow for a banquet hall in the industrial zone, in the business park zone, and the highway business zone, and that would be a public hearing.
Okay, and lastly, I'll make a motion to accept and schedule application 2519 for a public hearing for the amendment of our regulations to allow for a banquet hall.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's it for the new applications and the scheduling. Thank you very much.
And here you are.
And now we're gonna go right to our public hearings. We have members of the public here this evening.
At this time, I am going to recuse myself for the first 2 public hearings. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna bother sliding over here.
Because it's family.
Okay, I'd like to read the legal notice. Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission legal notice. The Town of Cromwell Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Town Council Chambers of the Cromwell Town Hall at 41 West Street on the following items. Number 1, application 2506, application to amend the zoning map from the current residential R25 zone district to the residential R15 zone district at 2 Brookview. The applicant and owner is Richard Brown. Number 2, 2507, application to amend zoning map from the current residential R25 zone district to the residential R15 zone district at 1 Brookview. The applicant and owner is Daniel Kelly. Application 2514, application for a special permit for filling and grading and removal of earth material at 9 Winchester Way, Connecticut General Statute 5.6, Town of Cromwell zoning regulations. The applicant is Edward Pergolotti, and the owners are Denise Lightfoot and Edward Pergolotti. And if I pronounced your name incorrectly, I apologize in advance. Number 4, application 2515, application for a special permit for filling at 26 West Street Terrace, Connecticut General Statute 5.6, Town of Cromwell zoning regulations. The applicant is Mark Mangiafico, and the owners are Janice M. Suplensky and Mark Mangiafico. At this hearing, interested persons may appear to be heard and written testimony received. The applications are available for public inspection in the Office of Planning and Development. Alice Kelly, chairperson, Michael Canada, vice chair, dated in Cromwell, Connecticut, this the 18th day of June 2025. Thank you. And if someone would like to please make a motion to open the first public hearing, application 2506, I would appreciate it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that public hearing is officially open. The applicant?
Good evening. My name is George Law. Thank you for entertaining this evening.
Yeah.
You have to be right.
You have to take it out.
Mr. Law, you have to be right on top of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Better. Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you for entertaining the applications before you. Special thanks to the staff who are always so accommodating to work with here. I do have the original affidavits regarding the posting of the signs I can present at this point. And the required notices were mailed to the neighboring abutters. That was faxed and emailed rather provided to staff prior to this evening. I understand procedurally that this application and the next application 2507 needed to be acted upon separately, but I am going to speak to them if you'll allow me coherently because they kind of run together. Exactly. And as you can see from the map that was provided, they are listed as lots 2 and 1. Number 1 being the property of Daniel Kelly, 1 Brookview Road. Number 2 being the property of Richard Brown, 2 Brookview Road. And that's the first application, 2506. Together, these two properties, as you can see, are bound on the southerly side by R15 zoned property, and then on the east, west, and north by the active adult housing zone. Both of the applicants or the owners of these properties acquired title to these properties in 1987, and then the zoning regulations in 2007 were amended to provide for the active adult housing zone or district, and that map was then changed to include the blue area that you see to the north of these properties. Essentially what happened at that time is these two lots were left almost creating some spot zoning, whereby again to the southerly side they are bound by R15 zone, and to the north, east, and west they are bound by active adult housing zone. Both applicants tonight are looking to have a change to the map to change their two lots from the R25 zone to the R15 zone, make it contiguous with the zone to the south of it, and essentially eliminating this spot zone, if you will. If you look at the zoning map, you'll see nowhere else, or at least I was unable to find any specific zoned area this size that is not connected to, you know, a contiguous zone of the like kind. It in fact is the smallest area on the zoning map, isolated as a separate zone. The parcels don't meet the criteria to be active adult housing, and we're not seeking that, so it just makes logical sense that to be in harmony with the neighborhood, they would be amended and changed to the R15 zone. In full disclosure, this is being done. One of the applicants at some point may come in an attempt to subdivide his property, and by being in the R15 zone, that makes him eligible. We're not just doing this, although there is the benefit of having the zone now consistent with the abutting properties. You know, I have to, you know, fully disclose the impetus behind this. But if approved, the change will make these two lots in harmony with the neighboring property. Again, it seems to me to be the only property in the town of Cromwell in this scenario where you have just simply two lots surrounded on all sides by different zones. They obviously abut each other as being, you know, R25 in that they're contiguous. But I think it's very consistent with the town's plan. I think it's consistent what's intended for this area. And again, it eliminates this area of spot zoning with the surrounding properties. Happy to entertain any questions or concerns.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions pertinent to this application?
You're just coming to switch the zone, you're nothing to do about subdividing currently?
Correct.
Okay,
Not at this point.
okay, just
But he-
so I completely
But he has
understand.
disclosed that may be in the
Yep.
future.
Just for future reference, Attorney, can you, next time, either bring old-fashioned boards or put this on your computer? We are kind of wired for the public to see. So there's nothing this evening for the public to see in regard to the zone change maps.
Oh,
So
certainly.
for future reference, when you come before the commission, you need to either, the best thing to do is to put it on your laptop, and we're able to show it on all these screens. So any future presentation to this commission should be made vis-à-vis a computer so that the public is allowed to see it, the public in the audience, and the public watching at home.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
I have one question. What is the total acreage of the combined two lots?
The total acreage of the combined two lots is as follows.
There's a memo that summarizes it in the package. There's a memo
Yeah,
before the two, it summarizes it.
Yeah, the one lot is 1.15 acres, one Brookview. And two Brookview is also 1.15 acres, so the
Okay.
combination would be 2.3 acres.
Okay, any other members of the commission? Questions? I'd like to open it up to the public. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on this application?
Good afternoon, Council. Michael Nepal. I'm at 10 Long Green Terrace. So I'm part of the active adult community.
Okay.
Concerned with rezoning this particular lot, these two particular lots, is the traffic. Right now, the access to 1 Brookview and 2 Brookview are via Long Green Terrace, and that is maintained by the Long Green, the Evergreen community. And now with these lots being rezoned, my concern is the traffic pattern to come into our community now will have changed. And we pay for the snow removal and the maintenance of that roadway. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'd like to give the applicant the opportunity to respond.
Certainly. You know, my only response to that would be, you know, the application before the commission this evening is for a map change, not a subdivision. Certainly an appropriate concern could be raised, you know, if in fact there is a subdivision application brought in the future. You know, at this juncture, the property remains what it is. Even with a subdivided parcel, I just don't see that it's going to create more than 1 or 2 more vehicles. But certainly tonight, there's not a subdivision application before the commission. You're welcome.
Thomas Sullivan. I live in 45 Woodborough Circle, which is part of the senior development. What I'm not sure that everyone understands is the maintenance of the road is cared for. That's plowing and repairing by the residents in the senior area. These two homes don't contribute to that, but I think that was the original bargain, but I'm not sure when the property was sold that they would have access. But I wonder if the new residents would consider making some kind of a token assessment for the maintenance of the road. The two original houses, I understand, are accepted, but I don't know, nobody seems to know how that came about, because the owners, when we bought the property, it was already developed. We don't know what kind of the builder made with them about access to the road. I don't see that it will harm or hurt any way the beauty of the property. It's well cared for, has beautiful landscaping, many trees have been planted, and these houses on the side are not gonna, now 3 houses, are not gonna take away. It's just the concern that I have is the maintenance of the road. Thank you.
And is there anyone else?
Thank you. And again, a valid concern, you know, which certainly would be addressed at a subdivision application if one is brought forward.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing anyone from the public that would like to speak additionally, so I'd like a motion to close the public hearing, please. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, discussion among commissioners.
And again, this is only for the first application. We're gonna vote twice.
Correct. So this is on application 2507. Anyone?
I think this is
2506, you are correct. Yep, 2506, 2 Brookview. Anyone have any comments regarding, in favor, against, any issues, any questions you have?
I guess the road access is gonna have to be, if they decide to subdivide it, that will have to be held and talked about then.
Yeah, and honestly, the active adult is, Stuart, correct me if I'm wrong, but the active adult is a private road, it's a private drive.
We have no, to be
We
quite
have,
honest,
we have no say in
business.
this.
No, even when they come back for a subdivision,
Right.
we have no say in this. This is
Okay.
a civil matter
Okay.
between 2 property owners, and however they want to negotiate it is up to them.
Fair enough.
They're, when this property was developed, these 2 lots were given frontage on that road. That was part of the original development. They have access, they're considered legal lots. So that was a business agreement between the original developer and the original property owner. So we have no say in that agreement. If people want to go back and renegotiate that agreement, they're more than welcome to. But as far as
It's out of our
anything,
purview.
it's even when we do a subdivision, it's not going to be part of it.
Got it.
Thank you very much.
All that being said, I'm looking for a motion, one way or the other.
I think we can, I would be for it,
I'd like to make a motion that we
Thank you.
accept.
Okay, and a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay,
Point of order,
yes,
it's not a motion to accept, it's either a
motion to
or deny.
approve, right, motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, that's for application 2506, that's approved. Now we're gonna go to application 2507, which is zoning map at 1 Brookview. It is exactly the same comments, it is exactly the same adjoining property with exactly the same issues, so I would like to hear a motion. I'm sorry, a motion to open the public hearing for 2507.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, public hearing for 2507 is open. Attorney Law?
Right. Only that this property is now bounded by the other property, which is R15 as well. So I would just ask the commission to entertain the application.
And once again, are there any comments from the public? Seeing none, any comments from the commission? Again, seeing none, motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor? And any commissioners' comments or questions? And what's your pleasure with the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. So both of your applications are approved this evening. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
And with that, our chair is returning. Welcome back, Alice.
Miss you.
For application,
2514.
2514, the application for a special permit for filling, grading, and removal of earth materials at 9 Winchester Way. Okay, I'd like to have a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have somebody here? Okay, thank you.
Hello, good evening. You guys all, I didn't realize we should be bringing a laptop. Do you guys have the plans in front of you, the drawings?
I have no drawings at all. I have nothing.
Oh, wait a minute. Here, we had this.
Yeah, we submitted 11 copies.
You have this? This is the drawing.
Was it all the way in the back?
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart. I have.
That's okay.
I think in the future, we will put out a notice to everyone that we are now in the 21st century,
Sorry about that.
and we are now with special TVs,
We got dragged there kicking and screaming.
and we don't need any more of these little things.
Okay, so sorry about that. So we were filling our property at 9 Winchester Way ever since we moved in. There was grading issues, water saturation in the back. We decided to bring in some fill, and we were unaware of the amount of fill you're allowed to bring in at one time per Cromwell statutes is like 100 yards per year. So we overdid the fill, and some of the fill went on to the backside of the retention pond of the Cromwell property line. So we've worked with Bruce and our land surveyor. We have everything marked out. We're just looking for an application to remove the debris that was pushed over onto your property, taken off, chipped, and taken off site.
I just have one question for you. When you started this, did you get a permit to do what you did?
No, I did not.
He didn't know.
Oh. Did you think that you could just go ahead and do whatever you wanted to do without coming to get a permit?
Well, I'm just speaking for another town I lived in, there was no limit on the amount of fill you could bring in. We brought in about 400 yards total, between 400 and 500. That wouldn't do anything to a permit, so I apologize. So I did not know Cromwell had the 100 yards per year.
Mr. Driscoll, I'd just like to quantify this. For anybody that is doing anything to their property, like bringing in fill, moving trees, cutting trees, are they supposed to come to the town to get some type of a permit, or they can just do what they want? I'm not quite sure.
So my answer is gonna be in two parts. So for the fill, if they're filling in excess of 100 yards in a calendar year, then yes, they require a permit. The cutting of trees on their own property does not require a permit.
Okay.
The cutting of trees within town property requires authorization from the tree warden. And in this case, the property to the rear of the subject property is owned by the town of Cromwell as open space. It also contains a vast area of wetlands and also serves as a stormwater collection area for that subdivision. That being said, if you look at your drawing, to the left of the subject property's rear property line, you'll see notated text that says area of down trees and fill over open space with a numeric value of 1,750 square feet. That is the area that was defined by Mr. Pergolotti's engineer as the encroachment into the town's property of fill and knocked over or discarded trees. Also have, and we'll see some photos shortly of what the fill looks like, how it's not only crept over the rear property line, but the north property line, which is described on the map as now or formerly Anderson, Derek and Caitlin Anderson at 11 Winchester Way, and you'll see some photos of that as well.
We have photos?
I will in a second, as soon as I get over to the
Oh,
laptop.
okay, thank you.
But I don't wanna take the microphone from Mr. Pike.
No, that's okay.
Mr.
Pergolotti.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I got you.
I'm looking, thank you.
Yeah, so obviously, we're looking to rectify all that. We have all the drawings. We have our contractor here who's gonna be doing the majority of the work, he would be doing the regrading, the retaining wall to keep any runoff future into that area. You know, we've already put a fence along one side. We're gonna re-fence in the whole yard. And I have a contractor, not doing it myself, to removing that approximately 1,700 square feet of fill and trees that were left over. And like I explained to Bruce, not all the trees were from our property, but like he said, we bought the property, whatever was there, you know, we're responsible because we pushed it on top of it, so.
Okay. Any commissioners like to? Oh,
This might be a question for Bruce, but
yes.
when they remove that, does that have to be done by hand, or can it be done with machines, because it's in that open space?
So, the work can be done using machinery. However, one of the things that we're going to have to do is, and shortly I'll go over my comments and my suggestions or recommendations. If you look at that map, you'll see all the way to the far left behind the property, you'll see wetlands depicted and a wetland setback, okay? The wetland setback is incorrect. It's at 50 feet because it's supposed to be 100 feet. It was then corrected. So you'll see right under the large two words of open space, below that says 100-foot wetland setback. And I'm going over this like this because I know that you're looking at a reduced copy, so I'm drawing your attention to something that you could landmark what I'm describing. So you have a 100-foot wetland setback. So to answer your question, Commissioner, that line would have to be somehow demarcated with some type of fence barrier, so the work does not encroach into that and then cause a wetlands violation. We wanted to make sure that all of the remediation is done to the right of that 100-foot setback line. Further, before any work on town property can be done, in my staff comments, which were generated recently, not in your packet, but were handed out to you, the applicant will be required to produce a certificate of insurance for the amount as estimated by the town for that work, for any activity that's going in that area.
Now, when you're talking about the line, Mr. Driscoll, that's that red line right here? Is that the line that you're talking about?
Right, there's two red lines. One is
Right.
noted as 50 foot, which,
Right.
which
But
is
you're
not
talking about
corrected.
the 100,
It was
right?
corrected, yes, so 100.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that all of it, all the construction remediation is to the right of that 100-foot setback
Mm-hmm.
line, but that's going to have to be clearly marked in the field with some type of agreed-upon fencing, such as an orange construction fence or something of that nature. All that work will then be done, the trees will be removed, and then it would have to be sloped and graded and vegetated to the satisfaction of the town. And I've consulted with the town engineer on that, who will be working with the applicant and the applicant's contractor. Further, for any work that's done on the subject property by the applicant, as he's hinted that there's gonna be grading, regrading, and retaining walls, that work will also require a performance bond, erosion sedimentation performance bond, has to be determined by staff. And I will again consult with our town engineer to come up with that number to make sure that we are protected. Further, the retaining wall, and this is a suggestion, the retaining wall that they're depicting on the drawing, you'll see an upside-down L shape, which is the retaining wall along the rear property line and then to the north property line abutting 11 Winchester Way. That retaining wall will require a building permit from the building department and will then be subject to inspections by the building official to
As
ensure.
it's being done?
No, this is all proposed, ma'am.
No, I said, but then the inspections will be done as that retaining wall is going up by our town?
The retaining wall is going up on the subject property, not the town property.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, and that will be inspected by the building official.
that's what I meant, yes.
Right, so I would
okay.
recommend that if you consider approving this, that all of the items that I've discussed, including the necessity for a building permit for the retaining wall, might be considered as conditions of approval.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else, and then,
I have a question
Go ahead, yes.
of Bruce. I'm looking at John Harriman's letter, and
give it to them.
the letter is dated 6/4. And as I'm looking at his letter, he was questioning the height of the wall at 34 inches, said it cannot occur by raising the grade of the downhill side of the wall. And he was emphasizing note number 13 on the plan, which I'm assuming is this plan.
Correct. Would you like me to read it?
I was gonna say I could read it out loud.
Yeah, if someone could read it, because
So,
this is not readable.
On the plan, which is identified as map reference and general notes, there are 14 of them, and number 13 that Mr. Harriman references is any retaining walls greater than 3 feet shall be designed by a structural engineer. The wall is to be easy concrete block wall, 2x4, 2,800 pound each per contractor and manufacturer.
Okay, thank you. I'm probably gonna have additional questions, but let's see what we got for pictures. Unless anyone else has questions before Bruce leaves his chair.
So just so you know, this computer that I'm putting on is to satisfy the request of one of the neighbors who would like to speak, but doesn't have a computer available. but provided the pictures, which I will show you. And then at that point in time, that person will come up and speak to
Okay,
describe the
that
pictures.
person is here? Fine,
Okay, and that person is with this letter as well?
right. No, is that enough?
I believe the letter you're referring to, yes, that's correct.
Okay, great, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have, as the pictures are going up, please come forward and give us your name. In case that you need to make comments on what we're looking at.
For procedural perspective, since we're opening the public hearing up to the public, you might wanna just make that notation.
Yes,
So,
What, just-
just so that we're all aware, this is now the public speak portion.
right, this is the public hearing. This is the public speaking now, not the commission.
Thank you, Madam Chair, honorable commission members. My name is Attorney Caitlin Anderson, and I am a property owner at 11 Winchester Way. So therefore, my property line abuts 9 Winchester Way, which is the current subject property. Our property line, in addition to the town's wetland easement, is most impacted by the proposed application here today, so we appreciate the opportunity to be heard. I don't know if you'd like me to give background statements while Mr. Driscoll pulls up photos. I did submit.
Got it tonight,
Wonderful. I'd be happy to read it into the record if easiest for you.
please.
Wonderful. Dear Honorable Planning and Zoning Commissioners, we write to express reserved support for the above titled application, town's rear wetland setback that runs behind both our property lines. Our property line with 9 Winchester Way is most impacted by this pending application. The present situation began in September 2024 when Denise Lightfoot and Edward Pergolotti, hereinafter jointly named the applicants, cleared the rear and side of their property line of vegetation and trees without conducting a survey. Subsequent surveying by the applicants revealed unauthorized clearing into town wetlands and into our property line by approximately 20 by 14 feet at the widest point, cutting down at least 3 trees. A few loads of dirt were additionally deposited in the applicant's driveway and then driven by Mr. Pergolotti to the backyard utilizing a tractor. According to the applicant's own descriptions, it was approximately 100 yards of fill, as stated on their application paperwork. Thereafter, the applicants also sought to run drainage from the back of their property across the property line over our property and into the wetlands behind our property line. We repeatedly asked the applicants to keep the piping on their side of the line. After twice discovering piping over our property, we installed a chicken wire fence to end additional attempts. And that is actually referenced by the picture presently in front of you, which, if I can check my notes, was taken on October 8th, 2024. That was done after the subsequent survey, so you can see the clearing on our property to the right, and you can see the drain pipes lying across 9 Winchester Way, and that picture was taken facing the town wetlands with the houses behind us. If you want to go to the next photo, Mr. Driscoll. This is a photo of the drainage pipes across the line that we found, taken from 11 Winchester Way facing towards the wetlands. Again, you can see that flagged marker is the boundary line. Fast forward, thereafter, in March 2025, more than double the prior amount of dirt arrived in applicant's driveway. The applicants, again, by their own notations, claim it was an additional 250 yards of fill on the application. We've heard it was more today, so I'll leave it to this commission to decide what's correct. Over a period of 4 consecutive days, Mr. Pergolotti utilized a skid steer to relocate the dirt to the backyard. He additionally used the skid steer to bulldoze the cut brush and trees left behind after the September clearing. He pushed the vegetation off his rear property line into the town easement. Mr. Pergolotti quickly began building up the entire height of his backyard, including the space now cleared of vegetation, relocating all the dirt in about 4 days. If you could go to the next photo, you'll see a photo of the freshly relocated dirt, partially buried piping, and the erect chicken wire fence that we put up to stop the pipes. That's taken from our property at 11 Winchester Way, facing head-on south towards 9 Winchester. The date of that photo is March 29th, 2025. It became apparent that Mr. Pergolotti was attempting to make his backyard flat. Both our properties are located on a hill sloping downwards towards the town's wetlands. When the dirt had been relocated, he had removed all semblance of a slope from his side of the line, but our property remained sloped. The result was a wall of dirt approximately 5 feet high running down our joint property line, as demonstrated by that photo. The dirt was not stabilized. No retaining wall, no gradual sloping, and no other stabilization measures were utilized prior, during, or after the placement of the dirt along our property lines. We also believe the pre-existing drain lines were buried under the deposited dirt. Thereafter, the week following the placement of the dirt, we learned the town issued a cease and desist order that prohibits any further modifications to the property while the order is in place. The dirt along our property line is our greatest concern with the pending application. As expected, the unsecured and unstable dirt has been gradually creeping and encroaching the joint property line. Heavy rains create increased runoff. The chicken wire fence we installed to mark the boundary line is collapsing as the dirt settles and spreads. If you could scroll to the next photo, Mr. Driska. This is a photo of the dirt taken standing next to the property line from 11 Winchester Way, facing head-on, taken on July 8th, 2025. If you could go to the next photo kindly. This is a photo of the dirt taken from 11 Winchester, looking up towards 9 Winchester, and you can see the collapsing fence, also taken July 8th, 2025. If you go to the 6th photo, please. This is the photo of the dirt taken from 11 Winchester facing the wetlands with the collapsing chicken wire fence, also taken July 8th, 2025. And then the final picture. Thank you. This is the photo of the dirt and leftover debris taken from 11 Winchester and facing the purported corner of 9 Winchester and the wetlands. In conclusion, we are relieved to see that the pending application includes the removal of what was previously described in the application as 88 yards of fill, which is roughly 25% of what was added to the backyard, and the installation of a retaining wall with sloping. We are concerned, however, about how this remediation will occur. The described scope of work appears specific, calculated, and extensive, and unfortunately outside the skill set of the typical homeowner, including the applicants. We would ideally like this project to be done by licensed professionals who can ensure is completed in a lasting, correct, and permanent manner. Conclusion, we agree and support the much-needed remediation of the applicant's currently unsustainable property modifications, as the dirt will likely continue to destabilize and spread. We moreover fully endorse the applicant's desire to improve their value of a property with leveling and the installation of a pool. We respectfully ask, however, that the Commission exercise its authority to impose approval conditions on the prospective remediation, which this Commission appears able to do under Regulations 5.6. Specifically, we would, one, like the Commission to require trained, licensed, and/or insured professionals to complete, at minimum, the proposed grading, fill work, and building of the retaining wall. I believe that was proposed similarly by Mr. Driska, who asked that a building permit be pulled for the wall and therefore inspected by the local official. Require the applicants to provide a start date for the grading work, fill removal, and retaining wall construction so that town officials may inspect the progress if so desired. And 3, lastly, require the appropriate town officials to review and approve the finished grading, fill removal, and finished retaining wall to ensure the work is completed according to the plan specifications as approved by this Commission. I thank you for the time and the opportunity. Happy to answer any questions.
Where's Mr. Driscoll?
Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
You don't?
Well, I don't have any questions of
No.
this
Thank you.
person.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Understood.
much.
Thank you for the time.
Yeah,
For providing us with the photos and things like that.
picture's worth 1,000 words, that's for sure.
Bruce,
Yes.
I just have a question, as I'm looking at this mountain of dirt, how much fill came in to make his yard to be flat? It can't be a few cubic yards.
So the backyard is not flat. There's silt fences around. We were gonna have a retaining wall. We have an existing basketball court in the backyard. And it was gonna be a peninsula in, don't get me wrong, I know we push stuff onto city property, but it's pitched. Once, Mr. Driska told us about the runoff, we kinda tried to pitch it, and there is some that probably went onto her property. We've been putting straw for every rainstorm. We were told not to do anything else until we came here. So even though we have our contractors ready to go and get everything good, I took Bruce's, suggestion. I've had contractors look at the stuff, and, we have drawings, and, had the land surveyed by an engineer. Listen, we were wrong, and we're just trying to make right and get everything done.
But what I'm asking is, you talk like a few cubic yards of this. I'm looking at this.
Yeah, we probably.
I would like to know.
Yeah.
How many cubic yards of this, of dirt,
Yeah, so
came on your property?
Yeah, so on the trucks, what I was told from the company that we were getting everything from, it goes by weight, but it's about 18 cubic yards per delivery. And we went over the deliveries. That's why I'm guesstimating. It's somewhere between 425 and 500 cubic yards.
Well, at least we're back with nothing. Okay.
So you said between 425 and 500?
Yeah, I would say we probably had about 20 to 25 deliveries. And some of it, since this wasn't brought up, I'll bring it up because we did do things wrong. Bruce is like, hey, cease and desist, and we actually had an additional 6 yards of topsoil because I wanted to fix the front yard. We were just gonna do a little top dressing, everything like that, from running the tractor over it in March. And Mr. Driska called me right away, and we got rid of it same day. We didn't spread it throughout the yard, just got rid of it. So we are looking to do things right.
Better late than never.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have anything, or should we open it to the public?
Let's go with the public.
Okay, anybody else from the public that wishes to speak on this? Okay, so, what about commission members? Any questions?
I have a question about, the drainage.
Okay, Mr. Chris?
So if he's the high point, right? How does that work? Like, 'cause inevitably there's gonna be some water goes down, right? So how is that pitch handled? Is there some sort of, because what wasn't going to go on neighbors' yards is now going to go on neighbors' yards as far as water drain off. So how is that handled?
Well, the approved plan, as reviewed by the town engineer, is not going to allow the water to bleed off onto the neighboring property. It would have to be directed in another direction. However, it would be acceptable for it to drain off to the rear as it always did, because the original property did slope toward the rear property line onto the open space, and then into the upland review area of 100 feet, and then into the wetlands area. So that part will continue.
Okay, so I just feel like, yeah, so just as long as the neighbors, I mean, he's here, he's admitted fault, he's willing to do what he's gotta do, and as long as he does what he's supposed to do, and it's held to the regulations of the town, I'm just giving some direction as to what he needs to do in regards to the,
Bruce.
his next steps.
Bruce, I have a question. I'm looking at them with pipes. Those pipes weren't there when he bought the house. So he is now piping whatever water there is coming down into the wetlands. Is that what can be done? You can put in drainage pipes and push it into the wetlands?
Well, the pipes that were, I believe, I can be corrected if I'm misunderstanding the depiction in those photos, but those pipes that we saw were going off onto the neighboring property.
Not all of them.
Because the pipes to the rear, I believe, were covered by the fill.
Well, we saw a lot of pipes
So,
before the fill went.
sorry, if, all those pipes were there. One is the footing drain, for around the foundation. There's 2 drains at the front of the property that abut 7 and 9 Winchester Way that actually run down through the yard and come out right there. Us and the Andersons at 11 Winchester Way, we have a shared, trench drain. French drain, that is piped. And I'm not even gonna get into it because that's the one that I left on their side because it's a shared drain, but then I moved it. But yes, alls I did was literally extend those drains. Those were all there, nothing was added.
And those drains went into the wetlands?
No, it went to the, basically to the edge of our property, to the retention pond.
Oh, to the retention pond?
Yes.
And who owns the retention pond?
The town of Cromwell.
Okay.
But, yeah,
I'm trying to get wetlands, retention pond, and drains. Go ahead.
Has this been before the Wetlands Commission?
It has not been before the Wetlands Commission because at this point in time, it has not gone into the upland review area or the wetlands.
Okay.
But it will, if any activities are proposed, it will be in front of wetlands.
So they are gonna have to go to wetlands at some point.
If they propose
If
any
they propose
activity.
any activity in that 100-foot
But that's,
upland
but that's
review
why there
area.
has to be a physical demarcation barrier
Okay.
in place along that wetland setback line, which will, the applicant will have to have his engineer stake that line that they're identifying on this map to make sure that once that line is established, that we have to the right of it, to add some safety, that there's a physical barrier, so nobody on the machine goes backwards, pushing anything or depositing anything.
Okay.
Where's all this water going?
So my other question is, every French
Downhill.
drain that I've ever seen in my entire life is bedded in stone. You don't just take a pipe and throw it in clay and throw.
sorry,
clay
yeah,
over-
I mean, you guys said French drain, it wasn't a French drain, it's literally got a grate on it, it's probably 5 feet long, half of it's on my property, half of it's on their property. It was there before we bought the house.
So it's an open yard drain?
It's an open yard drain, yeah, that goes across like maybe 2.5 feet, maybe 2 feet from, on the property lines.
Okay, and that's piped
That's the, yeah,
the-
that's what, when I
to
said,
the-
yeah,
edge of the property line?
yes. And also, I mean, our contractors here that
Goes into the
is
open
gonna be
space
doing
of this
the
retention
retaining wall, everything like that, so if you guys have any
That's legal.
questions, about, you know, how we're gonna deflect the water and, you know, do, you know, piping, he could speak to it if you guys would like.
Can I ask a question to, I don't know if it'd be Stu or Bruce, but the retaining wall has nothing to do with this current, what they're trying to go for today, right? It's only removal of what they put in the town property.
No, so what they're here for is for a permit, a special permit for fill above and beyond the allowed amount, the allotted amount. So they surpassed that threshold of 100 yards. So they're here for that approval.
Just so I can fully understand.
Right, and in part of the proposal, because everything is so disturbed in that area, including the town property, we're lumping that into that, so.
Gotcha.
We want that removed, but part of that removal is going to be a restoration of the town property, suitable grading and retaining wall in the back, and then because of the amount of fill, that's gonna necessitate suitable grading and retaining wall on the neighboring properties as well.
Yeah, and in the plans, it also, our engineer did write up for regrading that back, adding seed, and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just not everything's not running off. So replanting of grass and everything.
So you got,
I'd just like to clarify something.
yes,
Okay, so, you know, the plan that you see in front of you was reviewed by staff.
okay.
So there are outstanding staff comments, okay?
Yep.
So, you know, I just wanna make that clear that, you know, John Harriman has reviewed this, the building department will be reviewing the retaining wall, all these things are gonna happen, they haven't happened yet.
Right, okay.
So, and obviously, with the information presented, there's a lot of information that was presented, and, it might be a little overwhelming, given the nature of the application. So one of my suggestions would be that we have the professional engineer revise the plans to meet all the staff comments. They work with the staff to address all the issues of concern at this point, the drainage, the amount of fill that's been brought in, the retaining wall. You know, we'll work with, town staff will work with their engineer, and then we'll come back with a final plan that is very clear as to what's gonna be done to remedy this situation.
Excellent.
Otherwise, we could spend a lot of time
Right,
this
I
evening.
think that's
Yeah.
excellent. And it
But-
will come back so we can see it up here?
Yeah, and
not on this
it'll be all done,
tweaky thing?
and their engineer will have the plan, and it'll be up there. And in the meantime, you know, they were gonna be doing this anyway. The applicant, staff, and engineer is gonna work with our staff, get all this straightened out so he can finish his
So
project.
they'll come back on September 2nd?
Yes.
So preliminarily, just so that we're all on the same page, what I've been jotting down for conditions, and this would probably go to your engineer, so he makes sure and includes these things in his updated plan, is that we would be looking for a site layout, with appropriate marking before any work starts. We'd
Yep,
be-
sorry, yep.
We'd be looking for a certificate of insurance on the work, in favor of the town of Cromwell. We'd be looking for a wall permit issued by the building department, with inspections by the building department as that wall is constructed. I saw in here notes that the wall is 32 inches or 34 inches, which is below the maximum, minimum requirement for, building permits for walls. However, looking at the sensitive nature of the location of the wall and the neighbor's property and the violations that have already occurred, I think that supersedes the exemption of a building permit on a short wall.
Oh, yeah, we were pulling a building permit.
Okay.
Yes, that's one thing that we were definitely,
Okay, and then
Positive about.
to Bruce's point, we're gonna be looking for an erosion sedimentation bond. We're gonna be looking for a finite timetable showing beginning, middle, and end.
yep,
With some type of schedule in that timetable. And we'd be looking for restoration of all disturbed properties, both on your property, on the town property, and on your neighbor's property.
understood.
All of that being said, I think yes, Bruce?
And I might also add that part of the restoration of the town property is restoring those property corners, those boundary corners which are now buried, so the town can landmark where the property, but that's gonna be after the
Yep.
fill is removed.
Yeah, I
And
think
a lot of
that's,
that- A lot of that, let me just sum this up. A lot of that information is covered in Bruce Driscoll's memo dated June 13th, 2025.
6/3.
And also in Mr. Harriman's memo.
Right, of 6/4.
Okay, yeah, so
So-
we're gonna be working on that.
Okay, so the appropriate action at this point would be to table this application?
No, just to
No.
continue the public hearing.
Continue.
Continue the public hearing until
September
we
2nd.
have,
September 2nd.
got it.
Thank you very much.
So, I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing to September 2nd. 2nd or 7th? 2nd.
Second.
Make a motion to continue the public hearing to September 2nd.
Second,
pen-
please.
Pending more information.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Popper and Mr. Driscoll. Moving on. Mr. Popper?
You want me to read it?
No, we are, well,
We have one more.
oh, yes, I know. You already read it. The application for a special permit for filling at 26 West Street Terrace.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
If I can give you a little background on that, so the applicant before you, Mr. Mangiafico, is here to request an after-the-fact approval for the amount of fill that he has on the property, which already received wetlands approval for the previously deposited piles of fill that were within a regulated area. Working with the Wetlands Commission, Mr. Mangiafico and the Wetlands Commission found suitable areas for him to spread all of the fill. And at this point, he's looking for that approval and also an additional amount of topsoil because it was not a suitable fill for growing grass for his livestock. So he's looking for an approval to approve the amount of fill that he already has in there and also additional topsoil for the purpose of growing grass.
Can I amend that extra topsoil?
Could you give your name and everything for our
I'm sorry, my
record,
name
please?
is Mark Mangiafico, I live at 26 West Street Terrace. It's a family farm. I was just trying to, I did ask for extra topsoil, I can't afford it, so I'm looking just for the approval of the fill that I got from Mr. Galito from that Middlesex Hospital, and working with him over the past year, getting that situated. So I'm just looking for the permit, for the special permit for the fill. No more fill. Zero. No more.
You're cured.
How big
Thank you,
is-
sir.
What kind of animals do you have on your farm? Where's your farm?
I have cattle. It's John Schakowski's farm. He's been Cromwell resident. It's my grandfather. He's been in the family for probably 100 years. 26 West Street Terrace, Franklin Road, and Chelsea. I just started at Mangiafico and Son Livestock. I'm trying to raise good beef instead of Walmart beef, so I'm trying to get it going. I work for the state now, so I'm trying to supplement the taxes and make a little extra, not make money, break even maybe.
Was there cows there before? or
I
animals?
have, yeah, we've had cows there forever.
Oh, no, I
Yeah,
just,
we had Norman, we've lost, but we got
oh,
another
okay.
one.
I just
We
have
have,
never
we
remember
have 3
seeing it
calves
there.
right now and a bull, 3 goats, 30 chickens. And I'm looking for more cattle, so
Okay, no,
thank you very much.
okay.
So on this application, I'm gonna rely on Bruce and Stuart. What are our issues? What are our conditions? What do we,
There will be no conditions. The fill has been spread. He's amended his original request since the application was filed with our office to not include additional topsoil, so he's looking for approval for the amount of fill that he brought in, and that is it.
okay, and you don't need any conditions with regard to
No, we ironed out.
ENS or
we
anything like
Right,
that?
we ironed that all out when it went before the Wetlands Commission.
Okay.
And everything was taken care of at that point.
Do we have anybody from the public here that wishes to speak on this?
Hi. Neighbors, thank you. I have my official certified letters to my 28 neighbors.
Okay. To
My
Mr.
signs,
Popper.
My 3 signs that I put
Thank you very much.
on all the streets. I'm hoping to get everything correct.
Okay.
So if there's no one from the public, do you want to close the public hearing?
Does anybody from the public wish to speak on this? Going once, twice, 3 times?
Thank you for your support.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Commission members, you have any questions or anything?
God bless.
Sorry,
God bless again.
there must be the animals.
From me.
All right, well,
Okay.
that being said,
So it's all straightened out, Mr. Driscoll?
if staff is satisfied, I'm certainly satisfied. I'll make a motion to approve application 2515, special permit for filling at 26 West Street Terrace.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're all
Thank you very
set.
much. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, discussion of the proposed revisions to the Town of Cromwell subdivision regulations.
I don't know if anybody had a chance to take a look at those,
Yes, I did.
and if you had any comments, you
Yes,
wanna
and I'm gonna give them to you.
have them in writing, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Are you shocked,
No.
Stuart?
Let me put it this way, this is the only, I have not gone through every page.
Why
I'm
not?
almost- I almost have. I mean,
That's perfect.
no.
Why not?
I have.
Perfect.
I
You're
have-
slipping, Alice, come
But
on.
I have not yellowed all of the ones that are missing in our new regulations. So
Okay.
I did that for you, and I'll
Okay.
hand it to you.
Okay.
Sure. I didn't make up 9 copies. Anybody else wants one?
Did you highlight all of them?
What? Yes. Well, no, I haven't finished highlighting them. Ann, did you want one?
We'll be happy to supply you with additional highlighters.
Pardon? Did you want one? Yeah, do you have more? Sure, I have more at home. And what I want to say,
They're all highlighted.
this is what I went through.
Come on, what do you think? You're dealing with an amateur here?
This is where I started from. And I downloaded the Adobe, put it into Word and. Huh? You know, I just wanna make sure that we're not missing anything in there. I had a hard time finding, there are some places, but it said in, this doesn't give you the whole information. Okay, so moving on, that's it that I have.
Thank you very much.
I can send it to you.
Please do, and send it to Jennifer.
Okay, I'll send it to Jennifer. I haven't finished it, but when I finish it, I'll send it to
Thank
Jennifer.
you very much.
Because it's in a Word document.
You can highlight right on the,
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did. I downloaded the Acrobat and put it into Word. Okay, approval of minutes.
Alice, can I just ask why you highlighted this? Is there, I mean, what are your questions about it?
That these, it says that these are not in our new regulation.
Okay.
These are from our old, that's why I gave you this front page. These are from the old regulation.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any changes to the June 17th minutes?
I do.
Oh,
Okay, so the plan was actually approved. The application 25-11 was actually approved with conditions which were not included. And what the conditions were, was a memo from John Harriman, town engineer, dated 6/2/25, and a memo from Maura Esposito, health department coordinator, dated 6/6/25. So if we were to approve the minutes, it would be as amended with those conditions.
So I'll make
And
a
that
mo-
was for the motion made by Michael Canada and seconded by Mr. Marfello to approve application 2511 for a site plan modification with conditions below.
okay.
But I don't know if we have enough people.
Yes, we do. That's what I was
Yes.
just checking.
Okay.
So we have Alice, myself, Ann, John, Vinnie, and Andy that can vote on this.
Right.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended by Stuart's notations.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, everybody, have a wonderful August.
Yahoo.
See you in September.
See you in September. We didn't
Start
see,
singing?
Stuart,
Everybody left.
what happened to the photos you promised us? Of your Italy